driving home today. I'd like to share an experience I had. I went to get my oil changed today, and boy, was that an experience. Um, so I went to Walmart. They're pretty inexpensive. They're not known for lots of things, but hey, they don't necessarily have lots of error rate, so it is what it is. So I called yesterday and made an appointment to get my oil changed at Walmart. Show up today, drop off the car. I'm just using my lunch break to do this. I'm like, cool. They're like, yeah, we'll be done in a half hour. Maybe 10 minutes later, they call me back and they're like, hey, so we don't have your oil filter. I'm like, okay. So now I've worked a lot of retail jobs. So this situation seems odd to me. They're like, yeah, we don't have any oil filters. So what your options are, if you want us to change your oil, you have to go get an oil filter. I was like, what? Like, yeah, so if you want us to change your oil, but I'm kind of fish over a barrel. Like, I guess I can have them close it all back up, but I don't know how far into it they are. And they had the hood open and everything, and they're just like, yeah, we don't have. I'm like, great, wonderful. So my options are kind of go get a filter or get screwed. So I'm like, all right, well, I was trying to remember where the closest auto parts store. So there's like an O'Reilly and an AutoZone. Both are not like, one's a decent walk, one is a long walk. I'm like, what do you expect me to do? Like with the AutoZone's cheaper, so if you walk over there, you can get it. I'm like, okay, I guess I can, but I only have really one option, and that's to walk to O'Reilly's, which is closer. So I walk over to O'Reilly's and I get the filter, and I come back and I give it to them, and then they take like another hour, so hour and a half to change my oil. So 2 hours, and I have to go get the filter. And I kind of was joking. I was like, "Is there any like credit or like anything for me having to go get the filter?" And they're like, "No." I was like, "Ah, I mean, I guess at least I should like clock in for the work I did." And they were like, "Ha, no." I don't know. I was just annoyed because it was bad customer service. And like, I've worked retail. I've worked at a lot of places. If we run out of parts, we take care of it, right? So either A, I will tell you beforehand or before I crack things open, or have your car all opened up, I would say, oh, hey, we don't have that part. Or if I found I didn't have that part, I would see if I could get that part from someplace else, right? That's on me doing the service to know what inventory I have. You are also Walmart, one of the logistic giants of the planet. How is it that you can't get oil filters? Well, we've been having trouble with our supplier. Okay, go get one off your shelf. Apparently, there weren't any on their shelf, which, okay, what about the other Walmart? Like, why am I going through all the effort? Why aren't you having manager of that section or general manager get some from the other store? Why am I doing the work and then I'm not getting anything for doing the work? But I'm noticing this as an increasing trend of companies providing bad service where they'll screw something up and they'll make it your responsibility to fix their mistake. And more it's happening where it's like, oh, I'm sorry. Well, too bad, so sad. It's like, hang on. No, you put me in a position. I brought you here, my vehicle here for you to work on. I did X. I requested X. Why am I now being required to fix your issue? Like, I called you yesterday. I told you what car it was. You couldn't have said then, oh, we don't have that filter when you put it in. Seems like a you problem. You couldn't go and get it from the other store. Or you know what? Right when I got home from my mission, I used to work for a delivery company. There are 3 or 4 companies that have full-time delivery drivers that you could call them and say, we need oil filters, and they would bring them to you. And your GM could do it out of petty cash or whatever option they have to buy things and reimburse themselves and like put in the paperwork and say, we didn't have what we were supposed to have to do the services that we offer. So I was just super annoyed. Like the way they talked to me, the way they handled the whole situation was just really annoying. No, I'm not gonna let you pass me on the right. Nope. Nope. Anyway, so that's frustrating. Um, Other sad world news. Uh, Apparently, the Pentagon's now. I overheard this from an account that seems fairly legitimate, seems fairly well sourced, and they were saying, "Hey, the Pentagon's getting orders to take military action in Cuba," which I'm like, "What?" I mean, that's a pretty massive deal. We're already fighting one spot. What we're just gonna go try to decapitate the government of Cuba? What are we doing? Like, I think the Trump family should be held fully accountable for everything bad that they have participated in, and they should have all their assets stripped after this because this is ridiculous. Like, super ridiculous. I'm gonna just like, come on, Marco Rubio. Just because your grandpa or your dad was like part of that whole Cuban thing, and like there's some bad blood there, like you don't get to try to finish a fight that was from the 1960s when honestly all we need to do is normalize relations with them and let them do their thing. We do that with China. I don't know why we couldn't do that with Cuba because a bunch of people in Miami are still mad about it. Grow up. Um, I published a thing yesterday, uh, a civil legal poison pill that I think politicians should have to sign that forces them out of office in the event that they have some sort of like moral issue. Like, oh, well, marriages, don't cheat, get divorced. If you're going to run for office and you don't want to be married, get divorced. Then you're free to sow your wild oats and you're not breaking a contract or a vow that you decided. Because honestly, I really feel like we should start questioning people's judgment who cheat on their spouses. Well, there's reasons for what? You're not happy. You're not tough enough to make. Yeah, I don't want you making decisions about things. Because the most intimate and dependable decision that you should, like, oh, that's an unfair metric. It's a great metric for people who are going to lead other people. Did everyone miss the whole thing about King David being a bad decision maker and he fell apart because he made a bad decision that had to do with adultery? Like that moral lesson got missed on everybody. Oh, you're going to be in front of $1 trillion. The bare minimum, I think you should not have cheat on your wife or your spouse or your significant other. You should have the fortitude to be like, I'm not going to do this. I want to do something different. Or I'm not happy. I need to, whatever. Fine. That shows character. That shows judgment. But to just like cheat and lie about it to people, that shows that you're a scumbag. And that's probably offensive to people. And it is a little bit because you can't tell me cheating on your spouse isn't scumbag behavior. That's 100% scumbag behavior. We all make mistakes. We can all be the villain. That is a poor decision. I don't know that anyone would be like, yeah, cheating on your spouse is the right thing to do. And if somebody is making that argument, I would love to entertain that conversation. They'll be like, listen, what do you mean you think that's a good idea? Just get out. Because if you're all, oh well, emotional, no, that's wrong. Get out. Distance yourself. So I think at the bare minimum, politicians, don't be cheating on your spouses. Like, what's his face in California right now that just got run out because he's like, and oh, you know what? He's like, all these people are coming out now. Yeah, because oftentimes powerful people are protected by powerful people. And so, yeah, if I'm just random staffer or person, it's scary for me to come out. And are some of those people lying? Probably, or exaggerating. But if you've got 5 people accusing you of sexual assault, and even one of them is credible, and the others have sketchy circumstances around them, like, oh, why are you having a woman drinks with a woman who isn't your wife and going back to their hotel room? That seems like poor decision making yet again. If you can't make good decisions, maybe I don't want you to be in charge of my government or anything or a bank, nothing. Go be a carrot farmer. Go be an accountant, like a junior accountant, where you're not in charge of anything other than some numbers, where it doesn't your moral quandaries aren't a big deal. It affects far fewer people. Go flip burgers at McDonald's. A, a job where you can do a good job, but your moral character isn't necessarily affecting other people to the degree that it does for politicians and leaders of businesses and banks. But I keep settling on this accountability, accountability, accountability. We need to hold people accountable. And the more money you make and the higher you go up the channel, the more accountable you should be, not the less. Oh man, that was a lapse in judgment. Well, yeah, your lapse of judgment affects people's jobs. Last company I worked at, nice guy ran it. Everybody generally agrees the exact same thing. Surrounded himself with the wrong people. I was like, man, he's such a nice guy. He gets a lot of benefit of the doubt. But at the end of the day, he surrounded himself with low quality people that led him astray. Also, the number of affairs that happened at the last company I worked at was astonishing. Astonishing. Like, I swear I can't go more than a few weeks without running into somebody else that used to work there. We all kind of had the same similar story, how like when and how we left and whatever, and when we were there and what was like. And hey, wait a minute, how come I was being held accountable for something? How come I was being held accountable for all of this work when so and so is sneaking off and trying to bang our other employees in the whatever place in the building, and I'm getting my chops busted because my ticket rate isn't high enough, or I could have handled that call better, and you're turning a blind eye to people getting cheated on. And I really want to call somebody out by name directly who used to be my boss, because ooh, garbage. Turning a blind eye to all that bullshit and then holding me over. Ooh, uh-uh. We should stop. People should stop failing upwards. Oh, you failed? Go down a level. Let's see how you hang out there. Because, like, honestly, I feel like people that are capable and do a good job oftentimes get taken advantage of. And, like, if you're really good at your job, maybe you should make a lot of money just doing that job. And I was doing all sorts of proofs. I'm like, oh, this person is actually worth a lot of money because they just don't make these mistakes. And they're this efficient. I really hope somebody punches Marco Rubio in the face. Like, what a dipshit. Pardon my French. But seriously, That's the standard that we're gonna go for. Like that's you're gonna finish off daddy's like life's dream that started in the '60s. Nah, man, that would be horrible. And can we just get JD Vance and Trump out? They're just dumb, spineless, terrible, garbage people. I don't know why we're breathing the same air. Like, why is it I have to go to work every day and work hard and try to be honest? And I struggle through the things that I struggle through. And then I'm like watching these people who I'm like, I don't, all you care about is power. And you don't even actually seem to be that smart because your decision making is dramatically impaired. Anyway, so that's fun. We just need people to be able to have a discourse. Like, you can have heated discourse and different beliefs and different thoughts. You just have to talk about it. And like, it can be heated and you can try to convince and listen, but stop pearl clutching and try to win dumb pieces of an argument and understand, like, at some part, both political parties do actually believe people should be taken care of. They just believe that it should be done differently. But like, I think both at some point can agree, like, yeah, people that are in need help, and there's different ways to approach that. Let's find the best approach. And novel idea here. Sometimes the free market might be a great option. Sometimes a government agency might be a better option, and sometimes letting people figure it out might be the right option. But like, we need to be able to have that conversation. But laws and justice need to be for everybody. Everybody. You have to apply the law evenly. We can't have a two-tiered justice system like we have always had. Stealing is stealing. White collar, blue collar, armed robbery, it's stealing. You take shit that isn't yours, that's stealing. Oh, well, nobody was hurt because it was just, computer. No, it's stealing. Treat it the same. It was dealing drugs. Well, but it's a pharmaceutical. No, if you're going to prosecute a street level drug dealer for dealing a certain amount of drugs a specific way, pharmaceutical companies should be handled the same way. In fact, they should be held more accountable because they took the time to get the licensing and have the doctors and do all the things. So if they screw up, hold them more accountable because they knew the system. They helped make the system. It's like all these judges that are getting caught for bad behavior. They should be held more accountable. Uh oh. Three, two, one. All right. Anyway, I've been ranting and ranting and ranting. Apologies. Anyway, that's my Walmart experience and some other thoughts. Hopefully, we don't invade Cuba because that would be stupid. But yeah. Anyway, yeah. Talk to you later.